It was called a merger of equals, but neither of the new CEOs of Herbert Smith Freehills is based in Australia. Last month, HSF announced that former Legacy Freehills managing partner Mark Rigotti and global head of disputes Sonia Ladeker have been selected as joint CEOs of the global firm. Both Rigotti and Ladeker are based in London. Rigotti, an Australian, relocated from Sydney to London in December 2012 following his appointment as managing partner, clients and industries, of the newly merged firm. A spokesperson from HSF told Lawyers Weekly that Rigotti would return to Australia in late 2014. It is unclear, however, whether he will remain in Australia permanently. The appointments will take effect from 1st of May 2014 for a term of 3 years. The new CEOs replace the inaugural CEOs of the merged firm, Sydney-based Gavin Bell and London-based David Willis. When the merger was announced in June 2012, Bell called the tie-up at the time a merger of equals. Two boutique firms have folded in January. The partners at the four-office national firm Langs Plus have decided to disband, citing conflicting views on how to service clients among their reasons for closing down the national firm. The firm, which counts banks, credit unions and health insurers as clients, will cease trading on the 31st of January. Langs Plus announced on 15th of January that its three partners had formed quite different views as to how we wish to continue with our careers and service the needs of our clients. One of those partners, David Jacobson, told Lawyers Weekly that this included disagreement over which services the firm should provide and how those services ought to be delivered. Our decisions took into account changes in technology, the economic circumstances affecting our clients, the way each of us wanted to practice law, the type of service we wanted to offer, and the structure of a firm required to provide these services, he said. Langs Plus has offices in Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane and Adelaide. The news comes just weeks after Perth boutique Kemp Stephen Ross Argy officially shut its doors after one of its founding partners retired. A leading academic has told Lawyers Weekly that selling off the Australian Government Solicitor won't make a dent in the nation's budget deficit. The AGS is simply too small for its privatisation to have any meaningful economic impact, according to Ian Ramsey, the head law professor of commercial law at the University of Melbourne. Ramsey's comments follow the Abbott government's announcement that it will launch a budget repair job to address a deficit tipped to reach $50 billion. The AGS is the largest single provider of legal services to the federal government, with a market share of around 40%. The government-owned law firm recorded $112 million in revenue and paid $9 million in dividends in the last financial year. While the AGS generates a tidy profit and has equity totalling $38.7 million, Ramsey noted that the government has billion-dollar financial pressures. Despite being a viable business that is far from a monopoly, the sale of the AGS won't attract many suitors from the legal industry, with Ramsey explaining that the cost is probably out of reach for most law firms. Even if they aren't prospective buyers, Ramsey said many firms will benefit from the privatisation of the AGS. That's it for the first Lawyers Weekly Law Report for 2014. You can keep up to date with the latest legal news by following us on Twitter, Facebook and LinkedIn, and by downloading the Lawyers Weekly app. I'm Justin Whealing, and I hope to see you again next month.